Hey, welcome everybody to the broadcast tonight. So tonight we're going to talk about images a little bit, but specifically I want to talk about Google Images and how to better utilize that when we're trying to put products up onto eBay. Um, a lot of the a lot of the problems that come up for my clients when they're trying to list products is getting pictures. It's either A, getting a good picture, or B, finding one that's big enough and being able to upload it in. It slows you down. Sometimes you have to go and resize and edit the picture, and that slows you down. I'd like us to all get much quicker and more efficient at doing pictures. I was talking to you guys about this before we started, but a lot of you guys don't particularly love to use Pixlr to resize images. So I want to talk to you about how to use Google Images to quickly find the right sized picture on eBay. Now, a question before we start on that. When you load something onto eBay, guys, what is the rule? How big does the image need to be? I'm going to bring up my whiteboard app. Yep. It needs to be 500 pixels, right? 500 pixels on one side. So, for example, I'm selling a golf club, right? Here's my picture of my golf club that I'm selling. Okay. If the picture looks like this, let me change the color on this. Let's say the red is the picture outline right here. It may very well be that this side right here, the long side on this, is 500. But this side right here, which is smaller because it's a golf club, is like, I know this isn't to perfect scale or anything, but let's say this is 200. Does that still qualify as an image that eBay will take? And the answer is yes, because one of the sides is 500. If this side were 800 and it was 200 on this small side, could we take it? And the answer is yes. It just has to be at least 500 on one of the sides. That's the rule. eBay has that rule because they want their images to look really nice on all devices, including mobile devices. So they've got this minimum standard. Well, a lot of you guys will hop onto a supplier, and because Walmart is used so often, let me refer to that first. A lot of times you'll hop on, and I'm just going to grab something here. Maybe we can grab something at random. How about this right here? This is a little home decor pillow. Okay, and this is totally at random. Let's say you want to list this onto eBay, and I always tell you guys before you do anything, make sure you can get a big enough picture. And if you come here and you right click and you save the picture, right? So notice I right click on top of the picture and hit save image as. I could save this to my computer somewhere, right? I'll just save it to my desktop. But that image probably isn't big enough, right? And I could go and figure out how big this image is if I wanted to. I could go to Pixlr here, and I'm going to do this relatively fast. I'm going to go to the Pixlr editor, and I'm going to upload the picture into the Pixlr editor. So I'm going to go open image from computer. I'm going to find my picture I just downloaded. We're going to load it in. And guess how big it is, guys? It's not big enough, is it? See that right there that I just circled? It's 450 by 450. It's not big enough. Well, that would mean that I would then need to improve the size of this picture, right? So I would come over here, I'd go to image size, and I would change this to 500, hit OK. Then I would need to resave it, so then I'd go to File and then Save. Change the name of it is usually better. I'm going to call this bird dash pillow, and I'm going to hit OK, save that to my desktop. Now I've got one that's big enough. But, the problem with this step is A, some of you guys aren't real comfortable with Pixlr, and B, it's an extra step. This costs me an extra, whatever, 30, 45 seconds. For some of you guys, this may cost you an extra 5 minutes because you're not very efficient on Pixlr. I would recommend that before you just download the picture right here from Walmart, I would use Google Images, guys. I would highlight the title of the image, and I would copy it. Or I'm sorry, highlight the title of the product and copy it. And I would go over here to google.com/images, and I would paste it right there. Okay. This is google.com/images, pasted the product name right there and did a search. Okay. Now, a lot of times you can find a big enough photo. Now, as you look here, here's our product, but check it out. It's only 450 by 450, right? It says it right there. So this isn't big enough. But one thing I like to do to speed up the process is I use these filter tools. Okay, so I'm going to use this right here, search tools. Okay, so let me click on search tools, and I'm going to select size, and I'm going to select larger than 640 by 480. Guys, why am I selecting that as a filter? Why would I select 640 by 480? Remember, this is larger than. Well, right, that's because it needs to be at least 500, right? So that will filter out all the low, too small images, and I can just select that. So that's what I'm going to do. And lo and behold, do you guys see the product image? I don't see it. Meaning there's not a big enough image here. Which, what does that mean for us, guys? It means we have to go through that process of taking it to Pixlr and increasing the size. I like to do this first because often the image is there. So let's try it with another product. Okay, let's just find something at random again. Sorry, my internet's being slow here. All right, let's do it with this microwave right here. Now, I could right-click and save this, right? I could right-click and save it, probably be 450 by 450. So I'm going to highlight the title. I'm going to go over here to Google Images and do a search. Now, I've already got that filter on right now, right? I'm already larger than 640 by 480. So I know with a certainty whatever's coming up here is big enough. I don't have to check the size in Pixlr or anything. Let me just make sure I'm looking at the right one. This one right here is the exact same product, right? And it says it's 2000 by 2000. Now, guys, stop just a second with me. This mistake happens too often. Don't let it happen to you. If you roll your mouse over this item right here, okay, let me circle it so I know we're all clear on what I'm talking about. This item right here is the picture we want to download, right? We want to download it because when we rolled our mouse over it, sure enough, I don't know if you can see that very well, but it says 2000 by 2000 Walmart.com directly underneath the picture when I roll my mouse over it. Well, that's great, right? Because that tells me for sure that's a big picture. Is there any restriction to how big our pictures can be on eBay? There's really not. You can go as big as you want. Bigger is better. Just adds more detail to the photo, and there's a greater zoom effect when somebody looks at it. So that can only be helpful. So we say, okay, well, this is what we want. Don't make this mistake and right-click on this image and save it. For those of you who are live here with me, what happens if I save the picture like this? What if I right-click on that image right there and hit Save Image As and save it to my computer? What's the problem with that method? Right, it's not going to be 2000 by 2000, is it? Because this picture right here that you're looking at is more like 125 by 125. You have to click on the image first so it expands out like that. You see that? Now we've got the big picture. Now I can right click on this one and save image as and get the larger version. Don't make that mistake. It happens to too many of my clients. And they wonder to themselves why their images aren't being taken. That's the reason right there. So don't let that happen to you. So this is the process, guys. It's easier if you'll search in Google Images first, rather than go down the path of having to resize every one of your pictures. It makes all the difference in the world, okay? Now, some suppliers that you save a picture from might already by default have large images. And if that's the case, then great. Save the image, upload it into eBay, and move forward. But a lot of suppliers don't, and a lot of times you do need to do some hunting. Let me show you a little trick with Amazon real fast. Okay? Now, Amazon's interesting because a lot of their pictures really are very good. But sometimes you have to employ a little trick to get the large version. So, for example, on a lot of Amazon items, you'll notice when you roll your mouse over the picture, it gives you this zoom effect, right? See that? You get this zoom on the right-hand side of the page. Well, if you right-click on that image, notice the menu I just got. Oh, it's not going to let me highlight it. But anyway, notice the menu. There's no save image as. There's a save as, but that's not saving the picture. That's saving the web page. There's no save image as here when I right-click. Sometimes you have to right-click a couple of times, which I just did, and I got a save image as option, which I could select and then save it, okay? The trick I use on Amazon is I right-click on this image, I roll my mouse right over here to this larger zoomed image, and I right-click again. And then I get a save image as. And that will always be the larger version. It's a great little trick on Amazon. Works on every single product. Come over here, right-click on the original. Move your mouse over to this larger image that's been zoomed in on, and right-click again. Save image as. And that'll do it every single time. Okay? Or if you've got your Google Images up, I could just highlight this product right here. Right? Highlight it and go search for it within Google Images. Search and see if I can find it. This one's not going to be as easy to find, it looks like, because it's showing a lot of people wearing sunglasses. So in this case, it might just be easier to go into Amazon and get it for myself. And I guess that's partially because this product title is sort of generic. It's a Ray-Ban Aviator small sunglasses, and I don't think it's specific enough to bring up exactly what we want. All right? Anyway, pretty simple. So guys, just I want to save you guys some time. I want to help you all to become more efficient with downloading and editing images. Your first option should not be to download and immediately run over to Pixlr and start figuring out size and resizing and resaving. That only adds time to your listings. Rather, try to look it up in Google Images first. If you can't quickly find it using the search filter I showed you, which you come here to Search Tools, right over here to the left, larger than 640 by 480. If you can't find a big enough image that way, then do it the hard way. And more often than not, this will work. But if it doesn't, you can take it through Pixlr and get your image up. Okay. We want efficiency, guys. I know it sounds like not a big deal. It's like, well, hey, it only takes me like a minute and a half to fix something up in Pixlr and resave it. But what's a minute and a half times 80 listings a week, right? I mean, that's significant. That's a couple hours extra worth of work right there, when you could be saving that time getting images much more quickly. All right? I know you're probably tired of hearing about images. It's something we have to focus a lot on when we're doing our eBay listings, but I hope that was helpful to you. As always, appreciate you guys coming along to these. Some of these are going to be a little more basic, more geared towards our beginner eBayers, and I hope these are helpful for those of you guys who are just getting started with us. We'll do this again next Tuesday. We'll see you guys there. Thanks for coming along.